boys and girls, it's that time again. The talking is done. Pre-season is over. The Premier League is back this weekend. This is going to be my video predicting who's going to win the league, who's going to finish in the top 4, who's going to get the Europa League places, and who's going to be getting relegated. Now, the first thing we're going to get into is the relegation zone. And of course, this is really difficult to predict. Every year, someone comes along that kind of surprises us. Someone gets relegated that you may not think at the start of the season will get relegated. Last year, it was Stoke City. Never would have had them for being relegated. But they are. They're gone. They're in the Championship. See you later, boys. Great result against Leeds, yeah? Okay. So, anyway, first team I'm going to go to be relegated, and this is in no particular order, is Newcastle United. Now, this is nothing personal against Newcastle. I hope that they stay up. They're a great club. They've got a great fan base. I just feel that they've got a lot of problems, and I actually don't see Rafa Benitez lasting the full season at Newcastle. Mike Ashley has completely ruined them. He is a parasite. The guy needs to just get out of their club and let them be. Let someone take them forward who can actually give them something, because he doesn't care. Let's be honest about it. You know, Rafa Benitez has had a list of players that he wants throughout the summer, and he just isn't getting them. He's just not getting the backing and the support he needs. And I watched an interview with him last week after one of their pre-season games, and he just looks distraught. He looks a broken man, and you can see that there's just so much pressure on his shoulders. And I just feel that that is going to affect Newcastle throughout the season. I just feel that, you know, with all that going on, they're going to struggle this year. And like I said, it's nothing personal against them. I just feel that they're one of the teams that's going to struggle, and they may get dragged into that relegation area. And if Rafa Benitez does decide to leave, then yeah, things are going to get really, really tough. So that is my first side to be relegated, and it's Newcastle United. Next side I'm going to have to be relegated is one of the newly promoted sides, and that's Cardiff City. Again, nothing against them, nothing against their fans. Glad to see them up in the Premier League. We got rid of one Welsh side last year in terms of Swansea, but we've got another that's come along, Cardiff, and I'm looking forward to playing them this season and going up there to Wales. But I just think that they're going to struggle. Getting into the Premier League under Neil Warnock was an unbelievable achievement in the first place, but Premier League's a different level, and I'm looking at what they've been doing in the transfer market and whatnot, and I don't know. I just don't think that they're going to survive. I know that their style is very forceful, shall we say. I remember watching their FA Cup game against Manchester City where they smashed a few of their players, but you're not going to be able to get away with that week in, week out in the Premier League. And like I said, it's just a different level. It's okay for the one-off games and whatnot, but every single week, nah, it's not going to happen for me. So next side I've got to be relegated are Cardiff City. Now the final side that I feel will be relegated this season is Huddersfield Town. Again, like with the other two, it's nothing personal. Absolutely love Huddersfield Town, love their supporters. And as I explained last year before we played them in my preview, Huddersfield's actually quite close to me because that's actually where my mum was born. So I've got a lot of family still there, and I wish them nothing but the best. I hope they can survive this season like they did last year, but second season in the Premier League, it's not easy. It's harder than the first, and you look how hard they found it in their first season. They only just survived by the skin of their teeth. I just feel that they're going to really, really find it difficult this year, and sadly I feel they will be the third side that get relegated as well from the Premier League. So there we go. That is the teams that I'm going to have to be relegated this season. Now we're going to move into the top 6, and I'm going to do this from front to back because I feel that it will be a little bit more interesting as we go along. To win the Premier League this season, I'm going to go for Manchester City. I just cannot see anybody touching them. They are an unbelievable side. Pep Guardiola has got them, you know, firing just beautifully. Watched them in the Community Shield game against Chelsea, and this is with a load of players that are half fit, and they were absolutely bullying Chelsea, just like it was a training ground stroll. Nah, I can't see anybody touching them. I think the team that I'm going to pick to finish second will come close, and I think they will give them a good run for their money. But I just can't look past Man City winning the league unless they have some injuries to key players, unless they have a serious dip in form, something goes against them. Winning the Premier League back-to-back is always difficult, and it's never easy as the first, but last year they strolled away with it, so I can't see any different. I don't think they're going to stroll away with it as much as they did last year, and I think there will be a little bit tougher in there. But nah, I can't look past them, so I'm going to go with Manchester City winning the Premier League. Finishing runners-up, I'm going to go with Liverpool. Like I said, I feel that they will give Manchester City a run for their money, and I think they are the closest team to being anywhere near Manchester City. The signings they've made this summer, been some serious signings. The one for me is Alisson in goal. Now, of course, that is an area that Liverpool have struggled with. You only have to look at what Karius did in the Champions League final. Mignolet, he's absolute rubbish as well. So now they've got themselves a world-class goalkeeper. I don't agree with the price tag. I think they paid way too much. But listen, 2018, this is the going rate. This is what you're going to have to do if you want to go and, you know, find a player that's going to take you up a level. And I feel that that's exactly what he will do. Unbelievable season at Roma. But yeah, the Premier League is different, and we will see how he finds it. We will see how he finds the physicality. You remember David De Gea when he first joined the Premier League. People didn't think he was going to make it, thought he was going to struggle because he was getting thrown about all over the place. So yeah, interesting, but I feel that Liverpool have made some unbelievable signings. They might not be finished in the transfer window yet either, but I just don't think they're going to have enough to go that extra hurdle, that little step over the line to win the Premier League. They haven't won the league title in about 30 years now. That's a long time, especially when you think how much Liverpool dominated the league back in the 70s and 80s and whatnot. But yeah, I think that they're going to be Manchester City's closest challengers, but I just don't think it's going to be enough, and I'm going to have Liverpool to finish second in the league. Finishing third in the league, I'm going to go with Arsenal. Now, I don't care that you want to sit there and go, look at him, he's picking Arsenal, the third. Listen, we're going to surprise a lot of people this year. And I think that we're going to cause a lot of problems, especially with our strike force. Now, last season, you see all the problems that we had. We still scored the third highest amount of goals in the Premier League, joint with Spurs, and only behind Liverpool and Manchester City. We scored 74 goals in the Premier League last season. That was with all of the problems we had. That was with Lacazette missing for 2 months through injury and playing through injury for a month. That was when we didn't have Aubameyang until he signed in January, and he didn't even play his first game till February. So with all of that, we still scored that many goals. Our home record last year was only second to Manchester City, along with Manchester United. So that side of things, we've always been really strong at home. Our problem was conceding goals and away from home. And I feel that if we rectify that and Unai Emery gets it right, then we're going to cause a lot of problems this year. And like I said, I feel that we're going to surprise a few people. Now, the start of the season is always important to sides, and I feel that we've got the best team in preparation for the start of the season. One of the good things about not having loads of players at the World Cup is that they've had full pre-season. You've got the likes of Lacazette, Aubameyang, even Mesut Ozil, Mkhitaryan. These players were not in the World Cup. I know Mesut Ozil was, but they got knocked out early. So he's had a full pre-season. But we've had such good preparation. You only have to look at our results in pre-season. Yes, I know it's pre-season, but we're scoring goals for fun. Lacazette, Aubameyang, their partnership, that's going to be interesting to see this year. And again, I'll go back to it. We're going to cause problems this year, and I think that we're going to surprise a few people. So, 3rd place in the league, I'm going to go for Arsenal. 4th place, the last Champions League place, and I'm going to go for Manchester United. Now, this was quite a tight run thing, but I feel that maybe their experience and Jose Mourinho may just get them over the line. But I think Manchester United have got loads of problems. I don't think that they're going to have that great a season. Go to their pre-season games, they look an absolute mess. Now, I know they're missing players because of the World Cup and whatnot, but something's not right at Manchester United. Listen to the fans, listen to what they're saying about what's going on. They are not happy at all. It's boring, it's bland, it just looks so disjointed. They look all over the place. Jose Mourinho is just picking holes left, right and centre, and it's like he's just causing problems everywhere. I don't know what his problem is. You look at the situation with Anthony Martial, that could be handled so differently. The guy had to leave the training base in America because his wife was back home giving birth to their child. He's obviously gone there to be by her side. There was a few little complications and she found things a little bit more harder than they thought, and he had to stay there. And he's actually been fined 180 grand for doing that and not turning back up. It's like, really? Come on, family comes first. Even Manchester United fans were like, what are you doing? It's embarrassing. I watched their last pre-season game against Bayern Munich and they are shambles. 28% possession. Not a single shot on goal. It's like, really? Is this your preparation for the start of the season? Mourinho's alienating all the youngsters. He's talking about how they're not good enough. My word, I'd be fuming if I was a Manchester United fan. And I just feel that they've got problems this year, real big problems. They've got some quality players in there, don't get me wrong. And on their day, they can beat anyone. But I just feel consistently over the course of the season, they haven't got enough. And I'm going to go with them finishing in 4th place. 5th place in the league, just missing out on the Champions League places. I'm going to go with Chelsea. I'm going to finish where they finished last year. They got a new manager in. And again, I feel that they've got problems. Sarri's going to find it hard in the Premier League. It's a manager that's never won anything, so he's got to try and deal with that. The pressures of Roman Abramovich, and if he doesn't deliver. Of course, they're in the Europa League as well as Arsenal. And I look at some of their players, strike-wise. Morata, is he going to score you a load of goals? No. The guy's been absolute pony since he's turned up in the Premier League. So, you know, in comparison to the other strike forces, they just haven't got enough for me. Defensively, not too sure about that. But yeah, I watched them, like I said, with the Man City game in the Community Shield, and they just looked a mess. They just didn't look any good whatsoever. Again, I know it's a pre-season game, so they say, but it's meant to be the curtain raiser. You're a week away from the start of the season, you should be ready. And they look miles away from being ready. I don't know what they're going to do in the transfer window. They missed out on Golovin, who went to Monaco, and I feel they needed that type of player in the midfield area, and you could see that was missing against Man City. I just don't know what business they're going to do, and I just don't think that they're going to cause that many problems in the league this year. Will Eden Hazard still be a Chelsea player? That's another subject. So, I don't know. I just think that they're not going to cause problems, like I said, and they're going to finish 5th in the league. 6th place in the league, the final place in the Europa section. And I'm going to go for Spurs. Now, this is not the fact that it's Spurs. There are big rivals. I hate them as to why I'm putting them here. It's the simple fact that I don't feel they've improved since last year. We have less than a week to go to the end of the window and they've signed nobody. They are in so much debt because of the new stadium, over £400 million worth. The stadium's not even ready. They're talking about it might even have to be put off a little bit further. I don't know. I really don't know what's going on. Tottenham fans, they're sitting there and, you know, some are saying it's okay, let's be patient, it's all right, we've got a nice new shiny stadium. And then you got ones that are like, no, this is not, you know, what we want. We're going to move into a new stadium, but we're not going to be able to compete. Now, this reminds me very much of what happened when Arsenal moved to a new stadium. It's not easy, is it? And I just feel that Tottenham, you know, they were miles off the pace last year in terms of catching Man City. And there's no way you're going to bridge that gap. And you've signed no one. It's as simple as that. You're not. Are Harry Kane and the likes of Dele Alli going to be back for the start of the season? Are they going to be firing? Of course, they went all the way to the latter stages of the World Cup with England. Kieran Trippier as well. Danny Rose. I don't know what's going on at Spurs. Are they going to sign anyone before the window shuts? I don't think it's going to be enough, and I feel that this year they will struggle. New surroundings, new beginnings, and it's not easy, like I said. So I'm going to go with Tottenham finishing in 6th place. So there we have it. That is my prediction for the top 6. That is my prediction for the relegation zone. As usual, let me know in the comment section whether you agree or disagree. Let me know what your top 6 will be. Let me know what your relegation zone will be. It's going to be an interesting season. Pre-season is finally over. I cannot wait to get started. New era under Unai Emery. And yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing. Let's find out if I'm buzzing after we played Man City this weekend though. I'll see you lot soon. I'm out of here.